learned that the gods of Olympus are real. And sometimes they have children with humans called half-bloods. We're pretty much like anyone else you'd meet, but with a few notable differences. We live in the only place that is safe for our kind. Until now. What is that?
Go inside. To the Oracle.
Percy. Kronos, a force so evil, 3 of his sons, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon, destroyed him. He's fated to rise again, to exact his vengeance on Olympus and the world.
The only thing that has the power to save our home is the Golden Fleece. It's in the Sea of Monsters, but the humans call it the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, I've read the Sea of Monsters book 3 times, but was it hard because there was quite a big gap between the first and second film? Did you find it hard getting back into character with Percy?
No, I mean, it was kind of like jumping into old shoes and like, you know, we did so much, you know, prep on the first movie, and that it was a little easy to get back into it, yeah.
So what's the best part about playing a long-running character?
The best part?
Yeah.
Well, I guess, playing a character alongside other, you know, characters as well, is that in this film in particular, you know, in this series, you know, we've all become, all the actors that, you know, play, you know, Annabeth and Luke and Grover, we're all really close friends. So, like, getting back into, you know, I guess those shoes of our characters and, like, hanging out is always a good time.
The CGI monsters I thought looked really cool, better than the book, like Hippocampus, for example.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have to imagine when you're, because they can't obviously do the CGI while you're playing, while you're acting, do you have to imagine, like, is there a model there that you have to?
Sometimes, yeah, so sometimes there's like a weird, like, green thing, like kind of like a green version of the hippocampus or something like that. Sometimes it's just like an X, like a piece, like an X of, like, you know, orange tape that you're just looking at. But it's really helpful what they do beforehand, because they give the actors and stuff like that conceptual art, these like pieces of you know, I guess like animated like versions of what they're hoping to do with the character. So then you can look at that, you know, X and that marker and just, you know, kind of play around and imagine what that character is gonna do.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So for the 3 Musketeers, you need to learn how to fight. How do you, like, train to be a demigod?
Well, basically, I mean, a lot of sword training and wire work training, and some fighting, stuff like that.
Were the swords foam, or what were they made out of?
I think some of them were, they weren't foam. We had like real metal ones, like real sharp ones that we used at times. And then we also at sometimes, like, I think they had some like bamboo ones, but those are kind of harder to use because they are bamboo, so they break. They like break easily when you're like.
Oh, that's really cool.
So yeah.
If you could have any Greek godparents, who would they be?
Oh, okay. I'm a little biased though. I mean, I think I would pick Poseidon.
Apart from Poseidon.
Apart from him, okay. That's a little more detail. Now let me think. Probably Zeus. I think Zeus is cool. He's the most powerful.
Cool.
Although he'd be a strict dad, I think.
What did you enjoy most about making the film? Because I really look forward to the scene with the cruise ship.
Yeah.
What is your favourite scene? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say my favorite scene, or the one that I'm like, you know, excited to see as well, is like in Polyphemus's lair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they created like a really cool version of Polyphemus, you know, that like live version. And they made it look really, really epic and big.
Was it a massive model?
Yeah, I mean, you know, actually they had a guy, this really big, you know, actor, like 6'something, you know, like 6'6", you know?
Yeah.
And he's in like this full, you know, prosthetic makeup and stuff like that, with like a huge mask, like this like huge head that like moves with a blinking eye.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they layered that with like CGI and stuff, and used some of his, you know, movements and turned it into a bigger, even bigger creature than he was.
As a big film fan yourself, do you think the film will be more appealing for people who like Greek myths or people who just like films?
I think that this film is appealing for anybody that likes an adventure, you know? So it's fun for anybody that likes to go see these types of movies, which is basically just a big adventure and a lot of fun.
Well, it's been really nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was
Logan.
nice to meet you too. Thanks, man.
The daughter of the god of war, Clarice!
Don't worry about always coming in second, Jackson.
You know, everything they say about you is wrong, Clarice. You actually do have a sense of humor.
This is a bad idea.
You don't even know what I was gonna say.
You were going to say that you're going after the fleece.
Actually, he was going to say we were. It's Chariot of Damnation.
Looks like a New York City cab.
Same difference.
The exact change. Please.
That was
Awesome!
We will resurrect Kronos, and the Olympians will know death.
We really need your help, and we don't have a lot of time.
You twist the cap off this, you release the winds from the four corners of the world.
Whoa, no, not in here!
Not in here.
We'll find the fleece.
So time to go. Tell me those aren't sharks.
Those aren't sharks.